Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over the 5 best WoD gold farms that you can do right now. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Okay, so today we're going to be going over the 5 best WoD gold farms that you can do right now, and let's actually be frank about this. The only thing for this is raw gold stuff is going to be removed for this actual type of farming, and that is due to the fact that the nerfs will be coming into place as of the 13th of October, which will be pre-patch. So that being the case, it would be a bit redundant if I did a video basically about gold farms and then list a load of raw gold farms. So that being the case, we're taking them out of the equation, and let's get on to number 1, which is the Iron Docks farm. Now I've been farming this one actually quite recently, and I found it to be a very good farm overall. Now this actual farm is pretty much one of your bread and butters when you're doing transmog farming. This is because it has a strong gold per hour overall, and quite frankly a lot of these actual items sell relatively fast. You do have a chance of getting some really high value ticket items when you're actually doing this farm, and overall I find this to be a really good one in order to do if you are pretty much just doing transmog farming. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this for padding out your auction house with loads of greens and blues, or just BOEs in general for your transmog, but if you wanted to actually build up a nice stockpile of WoD items, this is definitely a pick for you. Other than that, let's move on to number 2, which is the Savage Cub Farm. Now this one is located within Tanan Jungle, and this is where you'll be killing the Saber Stalkers, because they have a chance of dropping the Black Fang Claws. Actually, to be more precise, they're actually really common when you actually take them out, and the thing with that is you're going to have thousands of these Black Fang Claws. But don't worry too much, because you will get tons of these like really fast. Then overall you'll be able to get a Savage Cub from trading in those Black Fang Claws to the respective vendor. Now that being the case, the Savage Cub sells quite well on the auction house, and due to the fact that it's locked behind a load of these soulbound specific items for the Saber Stalker guys, that is where it derives its value from. This is by far a very good farm when it comes to WoD in relation to pretty much a load of other things, so like Timeless Isle was yesterday, and those ones are relatively high priced, but they're not necessarily locked behind any reputation, or they're locked behind any type of soulbound items. You can just literally farm those up. But with the Savage Cub, you will have to farm up those Black Fang Claws, which are soulbound, and therefore that will take you a bit of time to actually get a hold of it, and thus the Savage Cub actually gets its value from that. Other than that, let's move on to number 3, which is the Nagrand Instant Respawn Farm. Now this one is something I've covered multiple times throughout the years, and this is primarily a farming location just on the map right now, and that is where you will jump over, ideally with a monk and an ox statue, and burn those down. That ox statue in the middle of the actual area, and it will gather all of these cleft hoofs and a couple of ogres directly to you, and then as soon as they all die, once you've killed them of course, if you use an AoE ability, then you'll be able to loot them and also skin them if you so wish for the raw beast hide, but mainly you're going for sumptuous fur and some of the WoD transmog items that you actually get alongside this. This is mainly a sumptuous fur farm, but you can also use it to get raw beast hide, which both sell relatively well on the auction house. The other additional things that you get along with that is some transmog alongside that. Is something you may want to consider moving forward. Now, just to be clear, this one is sometimes botted by a couple of people, and also persistently farmed by some real players as well. So just bear in mind, if you go over there and someone's already farming it, then for obvious reasons that is going to be a bit of a little kick in the butt for you. But not to worry, it's very easy to check out and see if it's actually working for you, and overall I find this farm to be a very good one if you are able to get in there when no one's actually around. Aside from all of that, I tend to love this farm, mainly due to its simplicity of farming, and you can also do it with other different classes. It's just ideally with a monk it is most proficient with, and you'll be able to get the most bang for your buck for that. So, other than that, that is the Nagrand Instant Respawn Farm at number 3. Now coming in at number 4 is the Tanan Rares Farm, and what I mean by this is a multitude of different types of rares. Now you've got the 3 orcs which drop the Crush and Thrusher toys at a 10% drop chance. These ones can actually be farmed up within Tanan Jungle on the easternmost side. Now on the map right now you can obviously see their locations. Basically, they have a 10% chance of dropping in Thrusher toys, and they are all different. It's like the mortar controller and the flamethrower and all that stuff. So you get some really cool ones to actually go along with that, and then you'll be able to sell those on for a few thousand gold each. Now, if you have a multitude of different ults, that is very handy. And also, you do get to see if the other rares that we're going to be talking about are up. These ones are the ones that pop up on the map with like a little diamond shape with a couple of swords. Now basically those rares are farmed mainly for the Medallion of the Legion. Now if you want to check out and test your luck in order to get hold of the Medallion of the Legion, you are able to actually get a hold of that by killing those rares on the map. And basically there are 4 of them, and you have a chance of basically killing them and getting a hold of the Medallion of the Legion. Bear in mind those ones are kind of farmed quite heavily, so I would highly recommend doing the Crush and Thrushes first and then seeing if you can test your luck. The only one you will have a little bit of an issue with the Blood Moon, and that one is that's very time consuming, so I very much just don't do it out of just sheer I don't want to do it because it takes too much time. But the other ones are pretty straightforward and just easy to take out and test your luck at getting a hold of those Medallions of the Legion, as due to the fact they give you a ton of rep with respective factions for WoD, it sells relatively fast and for a high gold per hour for that. So from that is the Tanan Rares Farm at number 4. Now coming in last on our list is the 5-man Tanan Orc Farm. Yes, a lot of these farms are located within Tanan, but this one is by far one of my most favourite transmog farming locations in order to actually do, and that is because if you get yourself into a 5-man group, you are able to start forcing respawns in the respective location, which is on the map right now. What you'll be wanting to do, however, is by farming up this particular area by placing yourselves accordingly. Once you've actually taken out these guys, if you put it on a macro like Moonfire, such as with like the Volatile Water Farm, you'll be able to get a lot of Apexus crystals, which you can trade into their respective vendors for different types of battle pets in order to get a bit of gold. But more specifically, it is a transmog farm. You'll be getting a load of high value transmog items through your hours time invested, and it's very much well worth it overall. I tend to really do enjoy this actual particular farm, and in all honesty you can run it solo if you are going to build yourself up into a nice little route that you can go up and down the mountain with. But other than that, it's pretty dead straightforward and very dead simple to understand. But overall, it is a hell of a lot better with a 5-man group. You can also get items such as the Bulwark, which is a shield which can be sold for a hell of a lot of gold, and that is a BOE epic. The others are very much medium end transmog, so they're medium end-ish on value wise, so like a few thousand gold here and there, and then a couple of just a little bit under 1,000 gold. But more to be precise, this is by far a very high ticket place for farming up transmog, and I highly recommend it. If that, guys, that is my pick for the 5 best WoD gold farms that you can do right now. What do you think are some really good WoD farms that I haven't actually discussed? Put them in the comment section down below, and I'll definitely overview them and pick the best one and pin it to the top of this video. Other than that, guys, have an awesome rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. If you want to support the channel and help make the channel even better, then why not check out the Patreon? Members get additional info, gold making resources, and Patreon specific content. The link is located in the description down below. Thank you and have an awesome day.